name is Danny Hogan. I'm a graduate student at the University of Washington, working under Professor Jessica Lundquist for the Sublimation of Snow campaign.
The goal is to better understand how much water is leaving the snowpack into the atmosphere through a process called sublimation. In the western United States, we rely a lot on the snowpack in the mountains to supply us with water. And if the snow is sublimating, it doesn't end up in our reservoirs, and that means we have less water for agricultural and societal purposes.
The SOS project is attempting to measure sublimation in many different ways, using a wide array of instruments. In fall, we could drive in, and now we have to ski in a couple of miles.
Here we are at the head of the Gothic Road.
No one had been in and out for about a week because of the avalanche danger. With all the deep snow and heavy sleds, it really felt like we were, starting this grand adventure.
On the final arrival in. Here's Maroon. Here's Eli. I'm gonna open the door. Maroon cabin. Here we are. It's unlocked.
5 to 6 days a week, our plan is to ski about 2 miles down valley to Kettle Ponds, dig a snow pit, take measurements in the snow pit.
A snow pit is essentially a quick way to get an understanding for the depth of the snowpack and the different layerings.
The snow is like a geologic record just over the timescale of a single winter season. We have sensors pointed at the snow, but those can only collect information right at the surface. So us being here allows us to take measurement, deep in the snowpack. We're one of the few studies to, in addition to take atmospheric measurements, to take measurements in the snowpack. And we're hoping that will really help us understand how the snowpack and the atmosphere interact. We come back, usually get back by 1 p.m. or so, cook a quick lunch, and get to work on the laptops till dark. Me and Danny are both spending a lot of time working on analysis of our data just because it's exciting.
Things are kind of ramping up, and I think I'm really starting to feel comfortable with working with the data, and also kind of understanding the different methods that we're using, and starting to hone in on a focus area for my first study.
How was your day, man?
We also have the extra rice. Both Eli and I love to cook, and we've been cooking up a storm.
In our free time, I'd say our primary activity is skiing. Probably some of our ski days have been some of the most fun, just like perfect conditions with a ton of snow being dumped here. Snow science in the field, I think, is pretty ideal for me. Most of the time as a PhD student, you're sitting in the lab, staring at a monitor. And so to have the opportunity to move and to take measurements, and that really requires you to be active and physical, is really gratifying.
So we just got back from Kettle Ponds today, dug our 37th pit of the winter, and we're definitely getting more proficient at that.
Working in the field, acquiring data, and then working at home, analyzing it, getting kind of that whole circle seems to be something that I very much enjoy and very much have valued.
Not every PhD student gets to be a part of the data creation. A lot of students will end up working on a data set that's already been collected. I think the thing that excites me most about the project is the fact that Rumble and Gothic is so heavily instrumented that it really allows us to study things at many scales. So we can study things 1 meter off the snow surface and the turbulence that's happening right in that layer of the atmosphere, but we can also study how the air is moving throughout the whole valley. The variety of scales that are being measured in this area is really exciting, and then linking the physics of those different scales.
Waking up and watching sunrise over Gothic every morning doesn't get old.
Start of March, so we're kind of closing in on our time here out in Gothic.
I feel so lucky to have joined a lab, that does field work and understands that collecting new data and field data is important to developing the sciences. And it's Rumble that really made it so easy for us and made it so comfortable for us out here.
Once we're done in the field, it'll be back to a more standard PhD student life, analyzing data and trying to make sense of it.
We'll be addressing the questions that we made during our winter out here, and hopefully writing some publications that we can share with the rest of the world.
This data set will be used by many scientists for many years after we're done.
We have kind of endless questions that we can keep asking, and we have data available to help us answer them.